Good morning, greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more knowledgeable, you are more and more in control of your body, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system, the human body, is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you are dealing with a chronic health issue, a long-term progressive health issue that's just not getting better, a degenerative disease issue, there's something missing, there's something wrong, there's something getting into your body that shouldn't be getting into your body. It's not the way of the body. Let us help you. Let us show you how easy it can be to change your life today. If you're dealing with chronic pain or chronic inflammation or any long-term degenerative health crisis, or if you have a loved one who's dealing with a long-term progressive degenerative health issue, let us help you. Let us help you change your life or the lives of loved ones today. 844-236-6010 is our number. 844-236-6010 if you have questions about health challenges or prescription drugs, or if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you. If you have questions about formulations, ingredients, longevity products, skincare products, we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, you can head over to brightsideben.com or my blog, criticalhealthnews.com, or pharmacistben.com, order products right off the website, or you can call the Brightside Ben phone team if you prefer to talk to somebody live. 866-735-2470 is their number. 866-735-2470. And if you want to purchase any of our Truth Skin Health products, head over to truthtreatments.com. Make sure you take a look at our retinol 5% gel made with real retinol. No phony baloney retinol, phony baloney labels. Yesterday or a couple days ago, we talked about a product that just because something says it's retinol on the label doesn't mean there's retinol in the product. Just put it that way. That's why I call my skin health products the truth, because I got so sick of the dishonesty in the skincare world. And I've been in it for 3 decades plus, and it is a dishonest business. There are companies that are lying to you. And this product from Watts Beauty just exemplifies the dishonesty. Anyway, truthtreatments.com. Check out our retinol 5% gel or our other Truth Skin Health products. All right, thanks for joining us on The Bright Side. Speaking of the skin, one of my favorite vitamins for the skin is vitamin E. It's a protection vitamin. It's our protection vitamin. It protects the inside of the body and it protects the outside of the body. And these days, everyone, we all need protection. This key essential fatty vitamin, vitamin E, protects every single cell in the body. Every one of the 100 trillion little entities that make us up. Our cells. Misunderstanding or not understanding or not taking into account our cellular nature is really why we go to the doctor when we're sick, because we think we're organs and structures and we're really cells. Our body is made up of 100 trillion cells. We don't have gallbladder problems. We got gallbladder cell problems. We don't have heart disease. We got heart cell disease. We don't have liver disease. We got liver cell disease. We don't have brain problems or dementias. We got brain cell issues. And vitamin E protects cells. That means it protects everything, particularly the brain and the blood and the liver. And the more medicine, this is what we said yesterday, the more medicine you're using, the more drugs you're taking, and that includes illegal drugs, and that includes marijuana, and that includes anything you're smoking, the more you need vitamin A. If you're a cigarette smoker, you need more vitamin E, and vitamin A for that matter. But vitamin E protects us from cigarette smoke. Vitamin E protects our lungs. If you're dealing with Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or any dementia, they're all basically the same thing. Dementia is dementia, and Parkinson's disease is brain disease. It's all the same thing, folks. The more vitamin E we need, if you're dealing with any brain problems, even if you just have memory issues as you get older, vitamin E may be helpful. If you're carrying more body fat, you need more vitamin E. The more you're in the sun, the more you need vitamin E. Basically, if we're alive in the 21st century, if we're breathing the air and drinking the water and eating the food and exposed to the radiation and the chlorine and the fluoride and any of the 10,000 plus poisons that are in our 21st century American environment, the more we need vitamin E. And as far as the liver goes, it's critical for the health of the liver. It's critical for helping the liver detoxify. But it's more than just detoxification. Vitamin E protects us from fibrosis of the liver, cirrhosis of the liver. It protects against hepatitis, whether it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, or whatever letter they want to give it. Hepatitis is hepatitis. It's an inflamed liver. And it doesn't matter what's causing it. Vitamin E can protect your liver from hepatitis. There's literature that suggests that people who have hepatitis have lower levels of vitamin E. Got about 4 or 5 million Americans have hepatitis, and it doesn't matter the form, doesn't matter the letter that comes after it, which is just an indicator of what particular virus is causing it and the particular vector or how you get it. That doesn't matter. If you have hepatitis, you got a messed up liver, period. And you don't need Harvoni or Soldani necessarily. You need to protect your liver, which, as we said yesterday, is a digestive organ. That means food, and especially sugar, because the liver processes sugar. If you are infected with a virus, if you have hepatitis, you need to be doing the same thing that an alcoholic with psoriasis has to do, or that a diabetic with heart disease has to do, or that any of the 100 million Americans with NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, NASH they call it, which is fatty liver disease, steatohepatitis. I love the way that sounds. Steato means fatty, hepatitis means inflamed liver. Non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, fatty liver disease. The liver is so important to the body. It performs all of these hundreds of functions. And it's so fundamental to livingness, to being alive, that it can actually regenerate itself. If you have a quarter of your liver left, if you have 25% of your liver left, that 25% can actually grow back and form a whole liver. There's no other organ in the body that can do that. That is amazingness. You have a little piece of liver, quarter of your liver, and it will grow back to form a whole liver. Not surprisingly, given the prevalence of toxicity in liver disease, modern medicine has come up with a really cool strategy for dealing with liver issues if your liver's really messed up. They can put a new one in, a liver transplant. But that is not something you want to ever have to deal with. These days it's pretty miraculous what surgeons can do, what modern medicine can do. And a liver transplant is a mind-blowingly complicated operation. It's like having it's not quite like a brain transplant, but it's right up there. It's like a heart transplant. They're reconnecting a completely new organ or structure into your body. You don't want that to happen, folks. Yes, they can do it, but think about it. If your liver can regenerate at 25%, what does that say when the liver is so messed up that you have to actually have a new one put in? There's a 2-year wait, a 1 to 2 year wait for livers. 1 out of 8 people who are on the liver list die while they're waiting for their new liver. And once you have a transplant, you're not out of the woods yet. Once you have a transplant, you are now an official ward of the medical model for the rest of your life. So the medical world understands how to deal with the liver in their own medical way. They can even put a new one in. They can give you drugs that cost $1,000 a dose if you have hepatitis. But despite all these wonderful advances in the modern medical model, and there are wonderful advances, nobody's denying that. I'm guilty of ripping on the model as much as anybody, but you got to give credit where credit is due. As far as emergencies and transplants and replacements go, that's pretty miraculous what the medical profession, what medical professionals can do. But the fact remains that the liver is a lifestyle organ in the sense that it's dealing with our lifestyle, for better or worse. And if you have liver disease, there are many lifestyle strategies you can use. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away. Thank
you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. If you've got questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, skin health products, the longevity products, and if you want to wean yourself off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number today on the Bright Side and every day on the Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program or sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team, please call the phone team at 866-735-2470 or head over to brightsideben.com and you can sign up right off the website. Also, criticalhealthnews.com and pharmacistben.com. This is kind of interesting from GCI Magazine, which is a skincare magazine that I subscribe to. From GCI Magazine, cryogenically produced donkey milk powder for cosmetics. If you're looking for the latest ingredient, it's donkey milk powder, made by a Greek company, Hellenic Asinus Farms, and they call it Netto. Why donkey milk powder, you ask? Because it contains vitamin E. That's what they say here in the advertisement. Contains vitamin E. The ingredient, it also accelerates connective tissue production used in soaps, hand and face creams, and body creams. Donkey milk powder. Well, you don't have to go, find a skincare product with donkey milk powder in it. Go get yourself some donkey milk. This is the extent of the silliness of the skincare business. Folks, there's not a lot of things you need on your skin from a topical perspective. You need vitamin A and you need vitamin C, and that's pretty much it. You need, it would be helpful to have a transdermal system, something that will penetrate, will allow the vitamins to penetrate or pull the vitamins into the lower levels of the skin where the action is, and that's pretty much it. That's why I came out with my Truth Skin Health products, which are pretty much high doses of vitamin C and high doses of vitamin A in a stabilized form in a transdermal delivery matrix that improves the penetration of the vitamins or allows the vitamins to penetrate to the lower levels where connective tissue is made. But of course, if you want your donkey milk, cryogenically produced donkey milk, they cryogenically produce it. That's super high tech. That means they freeze dry it. They freeze dry the donkey milk and they get the powder out of it. I'm telling you, this is craziness. Anyway, so we're talking vitamin E, super important for the skin, super important for the heart, super important for the blood, super important for the liver, for the brain. Pretty much every system in the body will benefit because vitamin E protects cells. If you have a liver problem, vitamin E deficiencies, you should know vitamin E deficiencies are associated with liver toxicity, with hepatitis for that matter. People who have hepatitis tend to have lower levels of vitamin E. The liver's a digestive organ. It does a lot of things, but the first thing you want to think of if you have a problem with your liver, if you're dealing with fatty liver disease, if, God forbid, you have hepatitis or your liver is kaput and you need a liver transplant, think about food because the liver, while it does hundreds of different things, most of what it's doing is detoxifying what we're eating. The liver processes food micronutrients, vitamins, processes food minerals, it processes phytonutrients, plant nutrients, it processes macronutrition, fats, proteins, sugar, amino acids. It's a major player when it comes to hormone processing. If you're a woman dealing with an unpleasant menopause or perimenopause, or for that matter, PMS, if you got hot flashes, anxiety, insomnia, lack of libido, wrinkles, problem periods, osteoporosis, all female issues of the female reproductive system, you can rest assured, 100% guarantee, or 99.9% anyway, that your liver is not firing on all cylinders. Now, the liver, as we said, is remarkably resilient and forgiving, and it'll grow back once it's messed up. Toxicity or not, hepatitis or not, it can keep us functioning even if it's sick, even if it's diseased, even if it's not optimally healthy. But if our livers are not optimally healthy, we're not going to be optimally healthy either. So yeah, we can get by, but do you want to just get by? Do you want to just barely be able to get up in the morning? Do you want to just barely have enough energy throughout the day? Do you want to just barely feel good? We are leaving health on the table because we've set the bar so low, because we're just satisfied getting out of bed. If your liver is not 100% maximally optimally healthy, there's no way we will be either. And if we're on prescription drugs, even worse. Prescription drugs in this way actually shorten our lives. Prescription drugs kill us. Yes, literally, not figuratively, because they stress out the liver. Tell that to the next doctor who prescribes multiple drugs. One drug, okay, I can sort of understand one drug if you're on it. But multiple drugs, polypharmacy. Oh my God, why do we do this to ourselves? Because the doctor told us? And on top of all that, prescription drugs force us to expend our nutrients, to use our nutrients to detoxify the drugs, our B complex, our vitamin C, our vitamin A, and yes, our vitamin E. The more prescription drugs you're on, the more vitamin E you need. So vitamin E protects the cells. It protects everything in the body, but no more important system in the body. There's no greater benefits to the body than the benefits that you get from vitamin E in the heart and the blood. This is where mainstream medicine actually does recognize that vitamin E may have some benefits. Medical professionals actually first became aware of the power of vitamin E from a healing perspective when it came to heart disease. Vitamin E is a natural blood thinner. Vitamin E's ability to thin the blood is so significant that doctors will actually tell you not to take vitamin E before surgery and after surgery because they're concerned of too much blood thinning. That's not going to happen. I've never heard of that happening. It's almost impossible for a vitamin to create that much blood thinning. Nonetheless, that's the degree that vitamin E's blood thinning properties are recognized. Even your doctors know this. Surgeons know this. And that alone, just blood thinning alone, just the ability that vitamin E has to keep blood cells and blood moving through your circulatory system, your 60,000 miles of circulatory vessels, just that alone makes it incredibly valuable and important. Blood clotting, blood clogging, blood coagulation is super tightly regulated. There's like 80 different steps that it takes, biochemical steps that it takes to clot the blood. It is highly regulated. It is the most tightly regulated of all the processes in the body. That's the most tightly regulated. So if blood is clotting incorrectly, there's big problems. And guess what? Blood thinning drugs are among the best-selling drugs. They're in the top 10 best-selling drugs every year because basically we have an epidemic of dirty blood, of clotted blood, of coagulated blood. Blood clotting is tightly regulated, yet many of us, and certainly if we're dealing with chronic degenerative diseases, whether we've been diagnosed or not, we probably got a blood coagulation issue. All disease is cell disease, and all cell disease is dirty, sludgy, toxic, coagulated, clotted blood. They call it sepsis. And doctors will tell you that sepsis is a life-threatening condition. You end up in the intensive care unit. And they're right. It is a life-threatening condition because, as I say, blood clotting is not supposed to happen. Sepsis is dirty blood, clotted blood. But what we are suffering from, en masse, as a culture, is subclinical sepsis. That is sepsis that's not bad enough, dirty blood that's not bad enough to put you in the ICU, in the intensive care unit, but it's bad enough that your cells aren't getting fed and your body's not being detoxified. Oh yeah, that's right, blood cells help detoxify too. The blood system is how wastes are carried out of the body, particularly acid wastes. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back with more good health information and your phone calls. 844-236-6010 is our number right after this break. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7. At brightsideben.com or also benfuchsarchives.com. Both pages have search engines. If you miss a program, you can search topics or search shows. Thank you to Peter in the UK for setting that up, by the way. And also you can check out my blog, pharmacistben.com and criticalhealthnews.com. You can order longevity products right off of the websites. You can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team right off the websites as well. Okay, so we're talking vitamin E and the heart and blood from... This is from the Lancet Diabetes Endocrinology Journal, published online. The risk of developing cardiovascular disease is almost twice as high in patients who develop type 2 diabetes before the age of 40. If that's not a good reason to restrict your intake of diabetes-inducing foods, most of the foods that we eat. I don't know what is, but even more importantly, it underscores the nature of primary health issues versus secondary health issues. Most of the diseases we suffer from are secondary health issues that follow blood sugar problems and digestive problems, and you can throw the thyroid and the adrenal into the mix too. But basically, it's digestive and blood sugar, digestive and blood sugar, digestive and blood sugar. Work on the digestive system, stabilize the blood sugar, and most long-term chronic progressive diseases will improve themselves. Digestion and blood sugar, digestion and blood sugar. Tomorrow we'll continue talking about the heart and blood and vitamin E. And let's see if there's anything else I want to say here. And then I want to get to some of these hormones that we can use over the counter, particularly something called pregnenolone, also DHEA. We'll be doing that in the next few days as we continue talking about hormone health, fatty nutrients, and the skin. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let us go to David in Texas. Welcome to the bright side, David. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, hi. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
Good, man. Hey, you and I have spoken a few times in the past. I'm a success story.
Oh, good.
I've got Graves' disease.
Remind me real quick. So you use supplements for your Graves, which is hyperthyroidism for the listeners?
That's correct, yeah.
Nice.
You know, like you tell everybody, I got my gut in shape first. You know, I started on a very good probiotics regimen, digested enzymes. I also take a product called Zypan.
Nice. I love Zypan, digestive enzyme. Very good. Very good. Good deal.
And then, of course, I take the tangy tangerine. I sip on it a couple times a day.
That's awesome. What did your doctor say?
And I supplement. And that's what I want to talk to you about because I did go to my doctor this morning. And I get monthly blood work done, and my blood work's been great ever since I've been on your regimen. And I quit taking the Tapazole, and the nasty poison that was killing my thyroid.
How'd you feel when you stopped the Tapazole? How'd you feel, real quick, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you. How'd you feel when you stopped the Tapazole?
I felt much better. I feel better than I ever have.
Is that amazing?
I feel better now than I have in 20 years. I'm a 49-year-old man, and I can outperform most 20-year-olds in just about anything.
Congratulations,
my mind
man.
is sharper than it ever has been.
Awesome.
My sexual stamina is, incredible right now.
Awesome.
Stuff that all had been decline has kind of reversed.
Yeah, and if you didn't listen to this program or you were like one of the 99% of Americans who just doesn't pay attention, you would have thought it was an inevitable part of aging, and all that fun you're having now, all that mental clarity and sex and strength and vibrancy you have, you wouldn't be getting, and you would just assume that it's just the way it is. That's the tragedy, the whole thing.
I agree. It's a tragedy. It's horrible. I can't believe that the American public is being bamboozled. Ben, you should be our Surgeon General. You should be up there.
I stay away from politics. I stay away from politics,
no,
except for I'm being entertained by Donald Trump. I'm finding him a little, although less entertaining lately. I have to say, he was entertaining at first.
All those guys, they're just such a ridiculous mess,
isn't it?
There used to be a song by Temptations a long time ago called Ball of Confusion, and it's no different now than it was back then.
It serves somebody to have us confused. Yes. Anyway, let's cut to the chase here. I apologize for distracting you.
Yeah. So I went to the doctor this morning, got my monthly lab results. They've all been coming back fine, and my endo was explaining to me that my Graves' disease caused my metabolism to.
David? Oh, no. I think we lost David. David, call back. I was just getting into your story there. I apologize. I don't think I did anything. I don't think we did anything. I'm sorry, David.
I'm still here. Are you there?
I hear you now.
Hey.
So I got a bunch of calls I want to get to, David. What's the...
I'll get quick. I'll make it quick. Yeah. So I went to my endo, and she was saying that my metabolism has gone hyper overdrive as well while I was on Graves for so long, and that my plaque count has gone way up in my arteries.
Got it.
And she basically told me exactly what her exact words were: is that I'm a
candidate for a heart attack.
I
understand.
can have a stroke or sudden death at any time unless I start her treatment.
Here's a couple things real quick for you, David. Okay. First of all, continue doing everything you're doing. Redouble on any digestive symptoms. Just redouble on being aware of all your digestive issues and sugar issues. I'd be going to zero tolerance on sugar. But what's a little troubling is the history. Okay, good. What's a little troubling is your history. So it may be that you've built up a lot of plaque. When the body is hypermetabolic, when it's moving really fast, you're going to generate a lot of blood fats, and that can cause problems, especially if you're not healing, which is all problems that happen with Graves' disease. Chelation therapy. This is what I would be doing if I were you. Look into intravenous chelation therapy. You can do it orally too, but given your history, I'd be doing intravenous chelation therapy with EDTA. You want to just look it up in the phone book or Google it wherever you're at, and there's usually somebody, a chiropractor, who can do it for you. That's what I would be doing if I were you. Then also oral chelating agents can help. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, algae can be orally chelating. Any kind of algae, spirulina, chlorella, all that kind of stuff. And then selenium is very important for the heart, and also chelating, also has some chelating properties. The ultimate selenium. Sulfur has chelating properties. Nothing is more chelating. Well, I don't want to say that, but vitamin C is tremendously chelating. So make sure you're using vitamin C, high doses of it, and even intravenous vitamin C.
3,000.
You may want to go the IV route, and if you're doing 3,000, that's pretty good. But make sure you're dividing the doses up so you don't urinate what you don't use. Also, vitamin E can be protective against rancid fat and rancid plaque. We'll talk about that here in the next few days. How cholesterol goes rancid, and that's really the problem with cholesterol is the rancidity, or it's one of the main problems with cholesterol is the rancidity of it. Vitamin E can protect against that, so make sure you're using vitamin E as well. High doses, 400 international units a day. Dave, I got to motivate. Man, I got a bunch of calls I want to get to. Thanks so much for your call.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Just one quick question.
Okay.
I had a friend of mine suggest that I start taking half a teaspoon of baking soda daily to make my body less acidic and more alkaline.
That's not your input. Well, on that. Yeah, baking soda does have some benefits, but the body is designed to alkalinize itself by breathing, by exhaling, by carbon dioxide, blowing off carbon dioxide in the exhale. So yeah, sodium bicarbonate may help you. I know Dr. Mark Circus talks about it. I'm still not clear on exactly on how it bypasses the stomach acid, but apparently it does, and that's what Dr. Circus talks about. So it wouldn't hurt you. Don't take too much, and definitely don't take it with your meals. But exhalation is the best way to alkalinize the body, and inhalation also. Inhalation and exhalation. Respiration is the best way to alkalinize the body. David, God bless you, man. Have a beautiful day. Take care. All right, hang tight if you're on hold. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Mary in Oregon, what's going on? How you doing, Mary?
I have been doing colonics, and when I was doing the colonics, the therapist wanted me to do a small intestinal cleanse.
Okay, how did she want you to do an intestinal cleanse?
She says there's this company sells an herb colon cleanse kit.
Yeah, well, I have a problem with those, Mary from Oregon.
Me too, that's why I'm calling.
I got a problem with those things. You don't need any of that stuff. I don't like when people exploit health. You know, it's not fair. We're all worried about our health, not all of us, but some of us really want to take care of our health. And you get these companies just exploiting it. This is why I love Longevity so much, because it talks about the basic nutrients, the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. You need your Mighty 90 essential nutrients. You don't need any... Fasting is the best way to clean your colon, Mary, and it won't cost you a penny. Fasting's the best way. Fiber also will help. Grind up flax seeds. That's also good. Of course, you want to make sure you're repopulating gut bacteria. You know, the problem with these herbal remedies and herbal detox and herbal cleanses is now you just give your body more work to do. You know what I'm saying? A fast calms the body down. You know, if you're constipated and you fast for a day or 2 days or 3 days, you're going to have the best bowel movement ever at the end of 2 or 3 days because your body's going to naturally clean itself out when you stop putting the crap in. The problem with these formulas is now you just got more work for the body to do. I'm not a fan, put it that way. I don't want to step on any toes here and offend anybody, but I'm just not a fan of these cleansing formulas. I hope that helps, Mary. Are you the Mary that I sent product out to, by the way?
Yes.
Do you got my?
Boy, did it come in handy.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm sorry it took so long, Mary. Thanks so much for your call. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Have a beautiful holiday, New Year. Thanks for calling. Okay, let's go to David in Alabama. Welcome to the Bright Side, David. What's up?
Hey, yeah. Well, I've got so many issues. I'll try to go through all of them quick.
Okay.
I was told I was type 1 up to about 06, from 89 to 06, and I've been on insulin ever since.
Okay. I didn't hear the first, David, buddy, sorry. Yeah. I didn't hear the first part of what you said. You're a diabetic and you're on insulin now?
Yeah, I've been on insulin since 89. And I was told I was type 1 from 89 to 06.
Okay.
When I had to switch to endos. And this new one says I'm type 2, and I argue with them every time.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, though, David. Here, you got to do the same things, type 1 or type 2. You want some help with that?
I'm also hypothyroidism.
It's all connected, my friend. It's all connected. Yeah. It's all connected. We can take care of it in one fell swoop. We can do it all in one fell swoop. It's all linked together. You also have digestive issues. And I'm not telling you that because I'm predicting or I'm psychic, but it all goes together. You also have adrenal issues. I know you do, David, because it all goes together. It comes as a package deal. Okay, so here's the thing. Type 1 diabetes is autoimmune. Type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. But either way, you're not processing sugar. Who cares what it's called? Only doctors care what it's called. Only specialists care what it's called. You're not processing sugar, period. So what you want to do is you want to start to support sugar processing. Oh, by the way, insulin is one of the most pro-aging substances you could ever put in your body. The drug insulin. Not saying you don't, if you're going to eat as normal, you might need it, but your job should be to wean yourself off of it. So right away, start doing a food, and this is for everybody out there, by the way, dealing with diabetes. Right away, you're going to start to address your diet. That means restricting. I would be going zero tolerance, David, for any foods that break down quickly into sugar. If not zero tolerance, as close as you can. Bread, pasta, potatoes, fruit juice, desserts, rice, anything that breaks down to sugar. Starchy foods, cereal foods, bagels, all that kind of stuff. Even pizza crust can do it. So restricting your intake of those kinds of foods. After you eat those kinds of foods, or any carbohydrate foods, or really any foods, drink lots of water and make sure you're using your Sweeties and your Beyond Tangy Tangerine. In fact, sip on the BTT while you're eating those kinds of foods or after all meals. Do a food diary and start to eliminate foods that are causing any digestive distress. Type 1 diabetes, involves the digestive system because it's an autoimmune disease. Type 2 diabetes involves the digestive system because it involves how we process energy. So either way, you've got to focus on digestive health or alongside of focusing on the blood sugar. Use the Biolumin Nightly Essence, 3 in the morning, 3 at night. Start eating fermented vegetables. Make your own sauerkraut. Just take cabbage, chop it up, and put in some bacterial starter. Cover it up, and it turns into sauerkraut like magic. Same with kimchi or miso or tempeh. You can play around with fermented foods and do vegetable juices, especially with a Vitamix, so you get the fiber, which will slow down the release of sugar if you do them with meals. Then for the thyroid and the adrenal glands, you got to relax the body. Learn to activate your relaxation nervous system, calming the adrenal glands down. The thyroid will take care of itself once the body is calmed down enough. And once you're on the Mighty 90 and taking care of your digestion and your blood sugar, the thyroid will take care of itself. And if they dare to give you iodine or Synthroid for it, that's not what you need. You need to start working on all these other systems. Calming the body down with hot water, with relaxation techniques, massage, naps, deep breathing. There's lots of ways that you can activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Deep breathing is the all-time greatest way, and plus that will help the thyroid and improve your circulation and just have overall health benefits. Don't forget the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. They're very important. If you want to throw a couple more things in, I would be adding the Ultimate Selenium and the Ultimate Daily. And if you want to use some other nutritional supplements directly for the blood sugar system, in addition to chromium and vanadium and the B vitamins, you might want to get yourself on timed release niacin and take it with your Beyond Tangy Tangerine, maybe 250 milligrams a day. There's tons more, but that's a great place for you to start, David. All right, my man?
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
You have
Be
a good
good.
New Year.
Have a good New Year yourself. All right, let's go to Wes in Idaho. What's up, my friend? How you doing, Wesley?
Pretty good. Wanted to correct myself from yesterday.
Okay.
I said 95 of 1,100 cured, but it was 95% of 1100 cured by Combra. He says gel caps are better than dry caps. He does not do injections of vitamin D.
Okay, gotcha.
I've only found 3 good things on YouTube with the translations. For some reason, the translations make no sense at all. But here's a good one. It is Dr. Combra explains his treatment with high-dose vitamin D for multiple sclerosis.
Got
14 minutes long by
Wes.
Moros.
Wes, spell the doctor's name for me.
Coimbra.
COIM, for the listeners, COIMBRA. It's Dr. Combra, vitamin D and multiple sclerosis. We talked about that yesterday in the bright side. Wes, I got to move on. Thank you so much for your call, buddy. Happy New Year, bro. All right, I'm sorry if I hung up on you, Wes, if you were saying something there. Denise in Florida, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome to the bright side.
Hey, Ben. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. What's going on?
Thank you. I want to ask you a quick question about omega-6 fatty acids and oily skin.
Okay.
I looked at one of your videos with Amanda Rideout, and I know that you mentioned pantothenic acid and omega-6 will kind of help with the sticky oil production.
Yes.
I've just did some reading, and everyone's like, stay away from omega-6. Too much omega-6 is bad. So I want to figure out how to get the right amount and what source to get it from.
That's a great question. Those are both great questions, and I only have a minute, so I can't really address them completely like I want to. But here's the thing about omega-6s. There are people who will tell you that you get too much omega-6s if you subsist on the standard American diet because omega-6s are found in grains, and we're all eating a lot of grains. But what they're not telling you is that the omega-6 oils that we get are fried, or they're cooked, or they're processed, or they're refined. So, we're getting a lot of corn oil and soy oil and safflower oil and sunflower oil, which contain omega-6s, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're getting the omega-6s. And I'm not of the belief that you want to pay attention to that kind of logic. You follow me? Just because you get the oils, theoretically, that have the omega-6s doesn't mean by the time they're in your body or by the time you eat them that the omega-6s are left. So it could very well be that even though we're getting lots of corn oil and safflower oil and sunflower oil and omega-6 containing oils, that we're omega-6 deficient too, and I would say it's a good chance. So you're gonna have to do your own research on this. But I'm giving you my opinion here. You need both omega-6s and omega-3s. You need them in the right ratios or proportion, about 2-to-1, 3-to-1, omega-6 to omega-3. That's why you get on the ultimate EFAs. And Denise's point is very well taken. If you have thick, sludgy, sticky sebum, that's a sign that the body is making sebum that doesn't have enough omega-6s in it. Omega-6s liquefy your sebum. Denise, I'm just out of time. I apologize, but thanks for bringing those points up. Those are very important points. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, friends. Please check out my skin health products, which I formulated to be the truth. Just high concentrations of vitamin A and vitamin C. You can find out about it at truthtreatments.com. And if you're interested in the longevity products, head over to brightsideben.com, criticalhealthnews.com, or pharmacistben.com. Thanks for listening. Have yourselves a spectacular, beautiful, awesome day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye.